In Brockton, we swing for the fences so we can touch home.
We coach in Brockton to instill the teamwork that builds a great winning tradition.
We do business in Brockton because here you can find a taste of home away from home.
We keep our company in Brockton because we love this city.
I study and learn in Brockton to achieve my goals.
When Brockton is home, everything is within reach. We're very excited to have the Lieutenant Governor and the Secretary of Housing and Economic Development here with us today to make a really important announcement. I'd just like to make two quick comments before they come up. One is I think what you see up in front of you, along with our city councilors that are here today, is a partnership. It's a partnership that allows a day like today to happen. So we certainly appreciate the partnership with the Baker-Polito administration and their interest in investing in Brockton and helping us to revitalize downtown Brockton. We understand at the state level we go absolutely nowhere without our state legislative delegation, and they're up on Beacon Hill working hard for us all the time. And the only way a project like this can happen is if we can convince, the administration to put something in the budget and have our delegation have it stay in the budget and get it approved. So it really is a team effort, and the councilors and I are working together on the local level for the things that we need to do here in Brockton. So I know that the Lieutenant Governor has an exciting announcement about an investment here in downtown Brockton. I think we have to remind folks that the Baker-Polito administration has already made several investments in downtown Brockton over the past couple years. So if you look directly out behind me, this section of Center Street from the intersection of Montello up to Main Street, that we received a $1.3 million MassWorks grant last year to reconstruct that block with a brand new roadway and streetscape. And it's a critical location along with this intersection because we've got millions of dollars of new investment on both sides of that street. And that entrance from the east, the Route 123 gateway into the downtown, will be spectacular next year, and that project is scheduled to break ground in the spring. And that would not have happened without the administration. And just a couple blocks from here, they are working feverishly on remodeling the old federal building that's going to become the new permanent home of the Plymouth County District Attorney. And in order for that to happen, Governor Baker made a $2.1 million commitment in the supplemental budget. Our delegation made sure that that money stayed in the budget and made it through the process. And we could be looking at as early as January a new permanent home for the Plymouth County DA, a long-term commitment to be here, and among other things, that new location will become the home of 25 Massachusetts state troopers who work under the direction of the DA, and we know what a difference that's going to make for the perception of downtown Brockton. So, Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much, and Jay, for both of those projects. So when the Baker-Polito administration came into office, one of the first pledges the governor made was that he was going to build working relationships with all of the municipalities, and he kind of, what's the correct word, handed that off to the Lieutenant Governor as the point person for the administration working with the cities and towns. And she has been incredible in that role. She's been traveling all over the state since the day they came in. She is incredibly aware of local issues in cities and towns across the state. And I will tell you that they always return the phone call. When we reach out They always return the phone call. They're always willing to listen, and we truly appreciate that, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you. So without any further ado, please give a nice warm welcome to the Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth, Karen Polito.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with each and every one of you in this wonderful space. It's absolutely beautiful, and it really is something for you to highlight, to spotlight, and to show off today. And it really shows the progress that we're making in Brockton to fulfill the vision that you as community leaders have for this great city, the City of Champions. It's a pleasure to be here with our delegation. I enjoy working with members of the House and the Senate, being a former 10-year member of the House of Representatives. So I know how hard they work and what voice and volume they give to the priorities and projects and initiatives that are so important for this city and for this area. I do want to say so much thanks to your mayor. We text, we talk. You know, sometimes when I read about challenges that the city is having or good things that are happening, I often text and I get an instant reply. And I know he really loves and cares about this city, every inch of it. And over the course of now almost 2 years that the governor and I have been elected to office, I've had the opportunity to walk the neighborhoods and visit the schools and meet with your public safety and social service network, meet with the Downtown Business Association, and tour the transformative development neighborhood which we are in to really understand where this city needs to go and wants to go. So today is a day where we can sort of build on the success that you're having and the investments that we're making in this city, together with the private dollars that are coming forward to see this all unfold with us. There's no surprise that we're standing just feet away from a rail line that connects this city to the most innovative city in the world. Is that correct, Jay? I think so. I think it is. We are known to be the most innovative state in the country, says Bloomberg. And so this connection point is real. And it is important. As the city of Boston becomes more expensive and more difficult to perhaps get in and out of, there's an opportunity for a city like Brockton to capitalize with the right kinds of housing and investment, young professionals and working families that want to afford a great living and quality of life, and they can do that here in this city. What we've been able to do as an administration is demonstrate that you're not in this alone, that we are a state administration that wants to partner and really build the relationship with cities and towns. I, as the mayor said, spend a lot of time traveling our Commonwealth. I started through the governor's very first executive order, a community compact program, and I was very pleased that the city of Brockton, through this mayor, would sign into this compact program. This is all around best practices, master plans, economic development plans, financial plans, and this city is working on all of that to professionalize the way it governs at the local level and delivers service at the local level. So it's no surprise to me that we're standing in this room today because this is a city that knows where it wants to go. It's mapped out its plan and its vision for this neighborhood and for this city. And it's our team that comes forward to help you. Obviously, the Secretary, Ash, has been to this city numerous times, as well as his assistant, Carolyn Kirk. And the community development team, Juan Vega is here, and Crystal Cornegay, our housing professional. They've all been here to this city to really understand where you want to go. So today, we're able to use some of the tools that we were able to achieve through our economic development bill. With the help of our legislative partners, we passed in the final hours, literally, of this legislative session. And in that bill contains the MassWorks program. And we have been able to program the highest amount of funding ever in the history of this Commonwealth, to the tune of $500 million of monies that can be used to leverage private dollars and invest in infrastructure, traffic improvements, things that really will help make a development like the one that we envision here come to reality. So it's my great pleasure to be here on behalf of the governor and our team to announce a $10 million grant to the city of Brockton for a 429-space parking garage that will be located directly behind us on this open lot. This parking garage, because of the vision that you have, will unlock, we expect, the second phase of this enterprise block, and will also, I think, open up other parcels in this area that are now being used for surface parking or being used in other ways that can be developed to higher and better uses. So we know that this investment will attract the private dollars and then help this neighborhood transform into the neighborhood that you want and expect it to be for decades to come. We know that you will use these dollars and make it come to reality as well. That's one of the things that Secretary Ash has tested in his travels across the Commonwealth, just making sure that in every community, when we invest these dollars, that there's a leadership team that's working together, in collaboration, that's communicating, that's working with the business sector, and that's doing all the things they need to do on the local level to see things like this happen. And our secretary has spent a lot of time, like me, on the road, really getting into the details of some of these projects. And sometimes I'll travel to places and I'll come back or text the secretary on the way and say, I've got this great project that I just learned about. And he's often the one that says, well, wait a minute, let's just study this, let's look at the details, let's make sure all the partners are in place, so when the state invests its money, it will actually help the project reach the ultimate goal that is expected. So I just want to thank all of you for believing in this city, for the private sector for investing in the development of this city, and to the community leaders that have been here for so long. Some of you are owners of small businesses, some of you grew up here, and some of you may be new to this city. We need all of you. And just to reassure you that your state government, with Charlie Baker and myself, will continue to invest and build on the momentum that you have in the great city of Brockton. Thank you. So, someone that knows a thing or two about turning around a city and community development is our Secretary of Economic Development. And he's done an incredible job for us over the past couple of years. And as you may know, the most important decision that Governor Baker and I made was setting out our cabinet of secretaries. And when we did that, we did it with the idea of we want the right people with the right skills, no matter their party affiliation in politics, to do the job. So we are very proud of our bipartisan administration that challenges us all the time to think out of the box and to really get to the right outcome. We are very grateful to have Jay Ash's leadership on economic development and housing initiatives across our Commonwealth, and he is very happy to be here to join me in this announcement today. Secretary Ash.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for that kind introduction. It's great to be back. It's great to be back with great news. I'm very excited about the news that we're delivering today, and I'm very excited about everything that this news will mean for Brockton. To put it in perspective, we are giving out grants over the next week or two that average about $2.8 million. So when one asks us, how committed are we to Brockton? Well, we're 3.5 times committed to Brockton than we are to other places. And the reason for that commitment is that you deserve that commitment. One of the things that has impressed me here in the half a dozen times or so that I've been down here to meet with the mayor, meet with his staff, meet with legislators, is that you all have a vision that is based in reality. Now, oftentimes people have visions about things that can happen in their community, and that vision isn't quite possible. But what is happening here is that you're betting on your downtown. You're betting on the great assets you have, like commuter rail that'll get you in and out of Boston very quickly, and I should say the other way, that'll get people from Boston in and out of Brockton really quickly. You're betting on assets like W.B. Mason right behind me. I was so moved by my tour of W.B. Mason and the commitment that they've made to Brockton's downtown. You're betting on terrific housing developments take place. My good friend Jim Keefe in the back, who's done tremendous work here, and Ted Carmen promising us a great development across the street. You're betting on things that are tried and tested and will make a difference in a community. And so what we see in this opportunity, and the reason why we said yes, even though our average grant is $2.8 million, we're willing to make a $10 million investment in what Brockton envisions here, is that we see a parking garage that becomes the core of everything else that's possible in this area. You've been doing the hard work. You've been doing the hard work by planning. You've been doing the hard work by adopting urban renewal plans. You've been doing the hard work by keeping some of the older businesses, or I should say the negative businesses, away, and promoting new and old business here that are part of your future. You've been doing the hard work in terms of talking to developers and bringing on the right developers to do the work that is possible. And our role, the role of the Baker-Polito administration, is to support your hard work by making sure that that major public investment that'll unlock hundreds of millions of dollars of private investment gets made. So in celebrating this with Lieutenant Governor, I tell you that the people to my left are as responsible for what is happening here as anyone else in the room. I've been fortunate to work with your legislative delegation. They are constantly harassing me. I mean, they're advocating for you. And I will tell you that there is not a more engaged delegation, a more dedicated delegation to the districts and the future of economic development in a community. And so the partnership the Lieutenant Governor talks about flows through our legislative collaborators. And when the Lieutenant Governor talks about an economic development bill that was adopted, this was the very intention. Your legislators knew that if they helped to champion an economic development bill, which they did last session, that we would have the resources to come back to cities and towns and to help cities and towns again prosper. So the economic development bill that we adopted was called Opportunities for All, and Opportunities for All has three very simple concepts. One, we're about promoting growth in communities. Second, we're about helping businesses to become more vibrant. And third, we're about making sure that people enjoy prosperity. That's our goal for the entire Commonwealth. That's your goal here in Brockton, and we're glad that our goals have intersected and allowed us to be here at this moment. I want to just mention one other guy who deserves a great deal of praise, and your mayor is absolutely terrific. I come from a community that used to have mayors, and our mayors weren't as illustrious, and as a result, we ended up going to a city manager form of government. That was fortunate for me because I became city manager. But I get to travel around the state. I get to talk to lots of municipal leaders, and I get to judge. I don't like to be judgmental, but I get to judge, the leaders of communities and how prepared they are to deal with issues, what kind of vision they have, and how connected they are to the people they represent. And what I've been impressed with Mayor Carpenter is that he's a multi-tool player that exceeds in all of those tools. And I've been down here several times. I've sat with him privately. He's toured me around the downtown. He's toured me around other opportunities around the city. And we're here investing in this community because we believe in Mayor Carpenter. We're here investing in this community because Mayor Carpenter has convinced us to believe in everybody else that's here and believe in the possibilities that do exist here in Brockton. And so, Mayor, as much as we're all happy to, take a bow for this, I want to thank you for your leadership and vision. You stuck with us. You gave us opportunities to catch up to where you were on Brockton and to deliver on promises that the governor and lieutenant governor made. And we're excited about this, and we're especially excited about this because this will not be our last time down here. This will be not the last time that we all celebrate success here. This is really the start of a really great string of successes that are going to transform this area and the entire community. So we're excited to be part of that. So thank you, everyone.
Well, we are here in part of the Trinity Financial Complex here. This is Enso Flats right here, but the entire enterprise block is being redeveloped. And Jim Keefe and all his people at Trinity have been great partners to work with the city. And we're hoping, Jim, that maybe with the brand-new parking structure, this creates an opportunity for Trinity too. But we would like to invite up to say a few words on behalf of Trinity, one of the, I guess, two general managing partners of this property, or developers of this property, Mr. Kenan Bigby.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of Trinity Financial, very happy to be here today to welcome you all here to Enso Flats. Hopefully you got a chance to see the development here that is Enterprise Center Phase 1. As was mentioned, the funding for the parking lot will allow us to continue implementing not only our vision, but the vision of all of our partners, because that's what this boils down to. This work is very much a partnership. The investment made today at the state level will be the catalyst for the next step in this partnership. So I want to say thank you to Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, Secretary Ash, all of the elected officials that so ably represent Brockton at the State House. And beyond that, it's a partnership between us as developer and the city of Brockton, starting under the leadership of Mayor Carpenter, the creative thinking of Rob May and the planning staff at City Hall, and the support of all of the city councilors and other elected officials here in the city of Brockton. Without this team, none of this happens. Was excited to hear that the garage will receive this much-needed funding. As I said, that will be the jumping point for the next phase of development here. My only disappointment is that I thought that I would get to pose with one of those big checks. Short of winning the lottery, I thought this was my best chance, so maybe we can work on that. We take our role as developer here and as steward of these very valuable public resources very seriously. So we're excited to roll up our sleeves and get to work. By way of this award, I think we've been put on notice that we're at the plate. But Ted, your project has been mentioned a few times here, so I think you're on deck. Just a warning. But in all seriousness, we do take this investment, we will shepherd it, and we'll make sure that the vision that we've worked so hard to put together comes to reality. Knowing Secretary Ash, these investments aren't made lightly. These are very strategic investments, and they are investments that are expected to yield results. And I know with our team and our partnership, we'll be able to deliver. Thank you very much.
Well, this is really exciting because this investment in a parking structure is going to be the catalyst that unlocks half a dozen projects within walking distance. And I do also want to recognize Rob May, our Director of Planning and Economic Development. So how about a handstand for Rob? Rob is a visionary, and he's got great ideas and works hard, and we appreciate everything you do, Rob. Thank you. When I look across the street, you might see a commuter rail station. What I see is a 30-minute commute to downtown Boston. And what I see around us here is I see a lot of properties that are ripe for redevelopment as market rate and workforce housing. And that's where there's a real opportunity for the city of Brockton right now. And we've been working very hard with the city council over the past couple of years to put the programs in place, to adopt state programs that will allow us to truly take advantage of this opportunity that we have. And you know, I see a downtown around us that has a vibrant business district on the ground level and a lot of housing developed above it. And at this end of the north end of the downtown, we've got half a dozen parcels that now with the parking will be great opportunities for redevelopment. And the city will be participating in that. So with this announcement in the very near future, we'll be going to the city council. We have our newly adopted urban revitalization plan. Two of the properties identified in that urban revitalization plan are within 100 feet of where this garage is going, the Petronelli Building and 19 Main Street, and those are city-owned properties now. And with the city council's authorization, we will ask to transfer those properties to the Brockton Redevelopment Authority so that the BRA can market them to developers for private investment and private development. And we believe that those will happen because of this garage. So it's the model is in place. We're ready to go. And, you know, we look at one quick story. So during one of Jay's visits to the city, Rob and I convinced him that the best view of downtown Brockton was from the top of the United Furniture Building. What we failed to mention till we got there is that the elevator was broken. So 8 flights of stairs to the top of the building to get that bird's eye view. But I think one of the things that we could really see from up there is the sprawl parking and the fact that what was really choking off the future development of the downtown is we had sprawled as far as you could sprawl with surface parking that would be realistic for people coming into the downtown. And what we really needed to do is get the cars off of surface parking and into a structure. And that's why this investment is so key. It's going to allow us to do that. And not only does it give us additional capacity, and keep in mind, even though this is at the north end of the downtown, this project is going to increase capacity at both ends of the downtown because we've got a lot of cars parked at the Adams garage that belong to the neighborhood health center across the street who are going to be very excited to move closer into the new garage, creating additional capacity at the Adams parking garage also. So although we're really targeting this north end district of the downtown, it will benefit the entire downtown. And so I can't thank enough the administration and our legislative delegation for making this a reality. We're excited about the future of downtown Brockton, and we can't wait to get back to work. So thank you very much for being here. Please go for the tour.
In Brockton, we swing for the fences so we can touch home.
We coach in Brockton to instill the teamwork that builds a great winning tradition.
We do business in Brockton because here you can find a taste of home away from home.
We keep our company in Brockton because we love this city.
I study and learn in Brockton to achieve my goals.
When Brockton is home, everything is within reach.